Live from Johnny Donut Studios, you're watching Mad Bomber Podcast.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
All right, guys, let's get this show started. So tonight, where you're at, we're going to get ready for Indianapolis. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the Indianapolis Colts. A couple of key injuries for the Colts that we're going to go over. There's a retirement from the Colts that we're going to talk about. We're going to break down some film. We are playing Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is 3-1 right now with the Colts. And Geno Smith with the Raiders is 1-3. There's some similarities in the two, and we're going to go over that. But right now, without further ado, and backed by popular demand, I'm going to bring in Alex, the Oracle. This is the Oracle, guys. This guy knows everything about the NFL. You can just ask him, and he'll tell you. And we got a lot to get to tonight. First, though, we're just going to touch on the Bears game just a hair. I want to hear, you weren't on Tuesday, so I want to hear your spiel on what happened out there. The game was winnable. This was definitely a game that we should have won and did win, other than we made 5 mistakes, 4 in the air, 1 on the ground, and someone didn't get blocked. So what was your take watching the game on Sunday? And what was the biggest glaring bust that I probably saw as well as you did that led to the Raiders going to 1-3?
Well, Johnny, first of all, great to be on again. And with the Raiders, I was really impressed with Ashton Jeanty having his breakout game. He looked good in so many different areas. Whether it was running the ball, I thought he had great patience. I thought he had great vision. And I thought he really had great burst with, once he saw the hole, he was able to get through. And the thing with Jeanty is I always was mesmerized by his contact balance that he had at Boise State. I'll never forget watching the Oregon game, and he was just bouncing off guys left and right. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary players. And I really thought we saw a lot of that this weekend against the Bears. But the most surprising thing with Jeanty was his play in the passing game. I don't think a lot of people really thought that he had that in him as a receiver. Now, it's not like he was running these crazy routes, and it was mostly on checkdowns. Mm-hmm. But I think that's a great opportunity for Geno to have a check down option and know that there's a guy that could make defenders miss.
Yeah.
And that could really lead to a lot of explosive plays going forward, whether it's in the red zone and getting touchdowns, or whether it's on the Raiders' own territory and being able to flip field position that way. And then the second thing was Max Crosby. That was one of the best games I've ever seen Max Crosby play.
Wow.
And just like with Ashton, in a lot of different areas, whether it was batting passes down, playing the run. There was a play that we're going to talk about later where the Bears run an option play, and it looks like he's going to hand it off to Swift. Caleb decides to keep it. Now, he keeps it because he thinks Crosby is crashing towards Swift, but Crosby's able to just stop on a dime and redirect right towards Caleb and cause a fumble. It was just a really good game from him. It wasn't he didn't. Now Caleb's a tough guy to sack. That's something I talked about last week.
Absolutely.
But the Raiders, I mean, the Bears had to account for Max on every play, and it's really a shame that they weren't able to get that victory because of those two players having such a great game. The biggest miscues, number one, Geno staring down Kevin Byard too long on certain plays that led to interceptions. And unfortunately, the Bears did some really good film study on the Raiders kicking game, and they were able to develop a tell that the long snapper had right before he would snap the ball. The long snapper would arch his back just a little bit, and that allowed the guy on the end of the line for the Bears to get just a little bit of a running start to where it was Lau who couldn't get a hand on him, and he was able to block that pass to seal a victory for the Raiders. And who knows if Carlson would have made that kick, but unfortunately, it was just really good film study by the Bears that it's the little things and another special teams miscue for the Raiders.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. It's 2 weeks in a row. The Raiders had the kickoff return down to the 20 on the first play of the game in Washington, and then they had the punt return where they actually Cole Coffin corners the kick beautifully, and the special teams was all out of whack. And if we talked about that on Tuesday, where it just looked like they weren't even running after him, and it was an attitude right there. What I also did notice, and you said Caleb Williams, I got to see a lot of the game. I saw the whole game from the same spot, but a lot of the time when the Bears were on offense, their backs were to me, and there was two plays that in the last drive where DeAndre Swift scores the touchdown for them to go ahead. There's a 3rd down and 7 where Kuntz has him by the jersey, and he just rips out of the thing and goes around, turns around, and shoots and hits Cole Kmet across the middle for a first down. And now there's been a 4th down and 13, 15, a big sack. That would have been huge for the Raiders, and that would have been huge for the Bears. What do they do at that point? They had to go for it because they were down +4. So we're going to go ahead and put this game to rest. I want your 3 stars for the game, and I want your 3 not so stars for the Bears game, and then we're moving on.
Yeah, so my 3 stars: Crosby 1, Janty 1B, 1A, 1B, however you want to look at it. And then I'm going to go a tie for 3. Now, one guy, unfortunately, is Colton Miller, who I thought played a really good game, was having a really good start to the season. And then my other guy for 3 was JPJ. And JPJ and Colton Miller on the field, I'm like, okay, now we have 2 linemen that are dependable, sometimes dominant. And we have 3 other guys that we got to kind of work around a little bit. But at least the Raiders have 2 guys that are linchpins. But unfortunately, it looks like who knows if he's going to be able to come back for the end of the year. But that was devastating.
That's
for
correct.
him to go down like that.
And then how is he going to be when he comes on rehab? He'll have to rehab, and there's atrophy. There's stuff that's going on in that. I'm going to give you my 3 stars, and it's going to be Genty, Max Crosby, and I'm going to say this, and this is just for this game, so slow down there, boys. Dylan Parham. Dylan Parham, because I was watching him, because I wanted to nail his ass to the cross. So I got to watch him, and I had a hard you-know-what for that guy, and I got to watch his films. There was 3 plays where I'm like, I think he made 2 blocks on that play, and he did. Him and Meredith did a combo block, and he went up to the next line, to the next end, and hit Edmonds. And if you watch Genty's touchdown, which we watched on Tuesday, we're going to watch one run on Tuesday, the 64-yard touchdown. He actually knocked 3 guys down. It was a combo with Meredith, came over, hit the linebacker, who then pushed him into the strong safety. So that was a great play, and that was 2 times I saw Dylan Parham. So I'm going to go ahead and give Dylan Parham my number one. What can we call it? What is it? The Shiva Award. Number one, Tom McMahon. You are my number one. And number two, Tom McMahon. And number three, Tom McMahon. You are. I have an HO. I have an HO for him. We already have somebody, and I'm gonna go ahead and set this straight. Original Surfer Bob. Have you guys started doing?
Oh my God.
2026 show. No, Mr. Surfer Bob. We won't talk about anybody who's not on the team until after the season. So just to let you know, but I appreciate you asking that question. So with Tom McMahon, now I'm going to be watching everything on Tom McMahon's. I actually did a little bit of digging, went through articles, and the Denver does not like him at all. Denver was very upset with him during his tenure at the Broncos. I didn't hear much at the Colts. I know that Pat McAfee said he was okay. He did okay. That's a nice way of saying maybe he wasn't good.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. So here we
That's
are.
very diplomatic of McAfee.
Yeah, and he's not diplomatic. So that's why I was a little stunned about that. Okay. Going into the game, we're going to go ahead and let's talk about Raider injuries first. Okay. What do you think? I mean, right now we have Stokes. We have Stokes is day to day. Camryn Richardson's coming back. That's exciting. And Darian Porter could be on the field for a little bit more, for more snaps. I would definitely want to see what our final report is. Mike Myers, they have not said if he's coming back, but we're going to talk. We like Ian Thomas right now, but there's nothing that they can do with him. Fro, what is your take on the Raiders' injuries? And I have those right here.
The biggest thing, look, Bowers hasn't been that, I don't want to say that effective. He hasn't been nearly as effective as he's been last year. Last year, he really set the tempo for being the next Travis Kelce.
Right.
And unfortunately, he got hurt in the first game of the year, and that knee just hasn't been the same. I saw a picture of him this week in practice where he had a big knee brace on him. So it makes me wonder how much is this? Is it rehabilitating the way it's supposed to? Are they going to need to just sit him for a week and just make sure he really gets the proper treatment that he needs? Maybe he's got to stay away from the team, go to a certain specialist or something like that. And that might be long-term. That might be the best thing for the Raiders, especially since the fact that, look, Ashton Jeanty has emerged as after last week has really emerged as the number one guy in this offense. And then after that, it's Myers and Tucker. And then Bowers has been kind of on the same level as those two, I think, really as a receiver, especially statistically. If he were fully healthy, he would be the number one guy in the passing game. But unfortunately, that's just not the case right now. If Meyer comes back and Bowers isn't able to play, I think that would help. Now, it's certainly not going to be the same threat as Bowers, not nearly as much. Ian Thomas is going to have a role in this offense because he's been such a great blocker. He's been really good in the run game, whether they have him on split zone, come across the line to kick out the other guy in the line of scrimmage. They haven't really gotten him going in the passing game. Maybe on a play-action play, they're able to sneak one to him. But I think Stokes on the defensive side of the ball, that's going to be key because he's been way better than Blue Kelly this year.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And he had an interception that he dropped on Sunday.
Yeah, he did. And again, Blue Kelly had another game where he got picked on repeatedly.
Yes.
And on the touchdown that Roma Dunze had, the money shot for any team playing the Raiders is right in between Blue Kelly and pull him out. And Caleb Williams was able to find his best player, Roma Dunze, there. So, look, if Stokes could play, that's going to be a real advantageous because if he doesn't play, we're going to have to play Blue Kelly. And
I think Blue Kelly's not isn't going anywhere. That's a Pete Carroll love, and I agree with you about the transition between Kelly to Palomao, especially in the field. I think Herbert exposed that play, and Odunze and Williams just doubled down on it. So for the rest of the Raiders, Justin Shorter, full participation. Cameron Richardson, full participation. Max Crosby, full participation. Brock Bowers did not participate, but they did say that he was going to play. That's what Carroll said today in the presser. So there it is. Jesse, great point. Bowers still pulls extra defenders. You bet it your ass he did. They were doing a low high on him. They were doing like a Tampa 2 on him the whole game. It was a trip. I was watching that. And the play where he got that beautiful that screenplay that and Jackson Powers Johnson literally lit up their defensive back on that play. That was a play where he actually looked a little bit more healthier than he has. But I still think he's hurt. So that's the Raiders. So right now, if you're the Colts, you're going to be looking to make some plays on our DBs. And do you bring the heat? Because if you miss and if you stunt, Jonathan Taylor will make you pay. He will destroy you. Let's go ahead and take a look at this once. And what? Boom. Okay. Rams are doing a pretty good job right there in their lanes. Look at their linebackers. They're shifting to right. Now watch the end right there. 78. Beautiful combo block. Boom. And then there's Warren. That's the rookie from Penn State. And he's just off to the races.
Yeah, a couple things on that play. Quentin Nelson, who's been a really good player for a long time, he's on Jared Verse right here in the run game, and he just stones him right into the ground.
Okay, let's watch that again. Let's watch that again, and tell me when to stop because I saw that too. And let me pull this off, and then let's go here, and then let's go ahead and watch that. Great point, because that's where, again, the Rams have a good defense, and I believe that we're similar to theirs, and we're going to find out if we're as good as theirs or not. So let's go ahead and then tell me when to stop.
Stop. So right there, if you look at so Quentin Nelson is the lineman on the ground here, but the more important thing is he gets Jared Verse, who's one of the best defensive linemen in the league, on the ground right there. And then look at Jonathan Taylor, who's right to the left of him. He has and if you really, this is a really good time to stop because you're really able to see that the Colts are able to get good blocks on this play. They got 84 I think that's Warren right there.
That's the rookie from Penn State.
Yeah, who's been a tremendous player for them. And they're utilizing him the same way they used him at Penn State.
Yes,
as a fullback. He had a touchdown as a fullback last week. They use him at Wildcat quarterback a little bit. He's been a real – I was shocked at how – I thought he would be a top 10 pick. The Rams, I mean, the Colts got him at pick 15 or 14, something like that. And that's been a real good pickup for them. The Colts have a pretty good offensive line. They were without – and the other thing with Taylor here, you could keep the play going, is the breakaway speed.
See that though? He splits the defenders. He gets low. And that's where, again, where is he? Where is he? If you've ever played football, if anybody's ever played football, they understand that when those guys get low and get down low, like Ash and Genty, and the next thing you know, you're looking at shoulder pads and boom, here's a helmet right here. That's a tough one. And these guys, your offensive line blocks. And we'll get into their offensive line because they do have a little bit of an injury in there. But right there. Right there.
They were playing with – oh, go ahead, Johnny.
No, go for it.
No, I was going to say that they were playing with a backup right guard last week, and they have Matt Goncalves is his name. He's going to it looks like he's going to be coming back for them, so they will be, it looks like, full strength on the offensive line. Right.
So far that hasn't been approved, but yeah, they had – who was played this week? There was a backup that played pretty well. We got.
I knew his name this morning.
Well, we got a lot of film to go to, so that's one of the things that. Taylor scares me. No Pratt this game. I haven't seen. I just seen recently that Jermaine Pratt didn't make the trip, but I don't know if that's clickbait. And we're not going to go ahead and I'm not going to comment unless somebody has full proof that it's done. I looked at that right before the game, and I looked at. I'm looking at the all the players that are hurt or didn't make it, and he isn't there unless it's something to do with off-field issue. I have not seen Jermaine Pratt, but I did see that on Twitter, but there wasn't a lot of run on that. So we'll hold off. If anybody can see that and confirm it, please let us know, because that's huge if Jermaine Pratt isn't playing.
Yeah, that's news to me. I didn't see it. I didn't see him
before I came on. I saw it just before I came on that Jermaine Pratt did not make the trip to Indy, but it was somebody that I didn't trust 100%. And then I went straight to the news, and there's nothing on Jermaine Pratt. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the Colts. There's going to be no Kenny Moore. He has an Achilles injury. And who's going to probably replace him is Mike Hilton. That's a Lou Anarumo. That's their defensive coordinator. He's been in Cincinnati. He's going to be there. And then Mekhi Blackman, a guy from USC. Talk about that. Those two guys going into Kenny Moore before we go into the X-Man.
Yeah, Kenny Moore, he's been a really good player for the Colts for a couple years now. Mike Hilton, he came in. It was his first game playing for them, and he played a ton of snaps. He played about 3/4 of the snaps for the Colts. Didn't really have any bad reps. Of course, the guy who had the really bad reps was Xavier Howard, who got beat repeatedly, and he'll be going into retirement. And he gets in a big thing with Howard going into retirement is, so I learned this week, that to get an accredited season, you have to play at least three games in a season.
And that's for pension you're talking about, right?
Yes. So once you get played so how pensions work is the more accredited seasons that you play, the higher the payments, the monthly payments are in your pension are. So look, for Howard to retire after the first loss of the season for the Colts, it really shows me that he really wasn't playing for the love of the game. It was pure financial. And he's not going to retire after a win, after on a 3-game winning streak, but after the first loss, after he is getting a lot of crap in the media, he's like, you know what? I don't really need this. I got what I wanted. So he's going to be out. Mekhi Blackman's going to be in. And Mekhi Blackman gave up the big play to Tutu Atwell last week.
Right.
But besides that, they didn't really now he didn't play as many snaps in the game, but I think it's going to be a good opportunity for Geno to maybe pick on some guys like Mike Hilton, who's even though he has experience with Lou Anarumo, he doesn't have the same experience with the Colts and working with everyone else in the rest of the defense, and he's a little rusty just because he hasn't played as many games. And then Mekhi Blackman's going to be fresh, and who knows, if Mekhi Blackman doesn't play well, they might get a undrafted rookie in there with the last name Edwards, who might come in and fill in.
And they're saying he had a great week of practice, just like Stone Forsythe had a great week of practice. All right. Yeah. Everybody has a great week of practice. You're not going to say, oh, he had a shitty week of practice. I mean, and look at my Portuguese brother, David Freight Train. He's in Hawaii. Amuka Muka Kalahaka. What do you say? We go back a baby. He's out there drinking Mai Tais. He said he heard it and it was odd. Did you like that? Pretty much.
I love it. I need some pineapples after that one.
Pretty much the best singer ever. Okay, so I heard the same thing about Pratt and believe it was on the Q shows. I don't want believes. I need to know for sure. And usually you're on it, Dave Freitas, so I know you probably heard that. But as we call this show the Mad Boomer Podcast, you're one of the boomers we're talking about, as well as myself. So I want to get that, and I love you. I love your Portuguese family. But We have confirmation. We have confirmation. The Souzas. I didn't even put up a hot dog thing. Look at this. Vinny said it. Vinny Bonsignor.
Oh,
the guy.
That's reliable.
I think it is. I think Vinny would be. Vinny, if Vinny said it, because he doesn't usually spout off stuff unless it's true. There's got to be an off the field issue because he doesn't on any of the part. You never know. Maybe he went to Top Golf and then drove 150 miles an hour. So we'll see. We'll keep you up to date. If anybody can come and let us know, please do. That's going to be huge because that means that you're. And then again, Jackson, our linebacker we got from the Rams, he's off. He didn't participate and he's not available. So that means you're going to get a heavy dosage of Adams, which means you probably are going to be going to a lot of nickel because Tommy Eichenberg may go to the middle. And then what do you do with Landon? You're going to have Landon Roberts on 3 downs. That's not what you want to do with the Landon Roberts. So,
no, definitely not. And look, you don't want a linebacker missing when you got to play Jonathan Taylor. This is not the week that to have an off whatever the heck happened with Pratt. And look, wish him the best. Hope everything's okay. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they adjust. Is Roberts going to be playing on nickel downs along with Devin White?
Well, that's going to be something. That's going to be, and you know what? That's at the Mad Bomber podcast. We shift gears here. We have breaking news. But you know what? I have the Oracle, and you don't. So the Oracle will figure it out. So let's go ahead and go back to X Howard because I want to talk smack.
Okay, go ahead.
Xavier Howard retired this week because that little man bitch, I'll call him a Mitch, didn't want to have to deal with Trey Tucker and then have another loss. And then remember when he came over from Miami? It was like it was just a big circus when he came over. And so the circus, he didn't want to see that circus tent again. So looks like on defense, Gino, everybody go ahead and do a Hail Mary. Not the Hail Mary, but Hail Mary, and give us a prayer for Gino this weekend because he's got to take care of that football because this defense can be had. You can run on this defense. Let's go ahead and look at one of those runs that we were talking about right now. Break this down, Alex. Boom.
Yeah.
What defense are we in right now?
So we are in a 4-2-5 defense where they got 33 Mike Hilton who's coming down in the box because Tutu Atwell is almost like a tight end on this play. And they got Puka Nacua coming across on motion. And one thing about the Raiders, they're running a lot more motion offensively. That's something that Chip Kelly's really incorporated a lot more, whether it be Trey Tucker, whether it be Bowers. And I really like that because I think it's really giving Gino some tells as to what the coverage is. And they're not in this static 2x2 sets. It's so obvious for the defense to understand the route combinations. So the Rams they're going to run an outside zone here. And the Colts run a stunt where they have the 2 defensive linemen on the right that are going to slant inside towards the center. And this is and the Rams are able to really catch him here because when you're running outside zone and the Colts are slanting inside, you're going against to where the defense is slanting. And they're going to open up a big gap right here. And the 65, the center, is going to block Batchy.
Look at that blocking. Atwell and the tight end just are.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that hole. I mean, we could drive your Tesla through that hole, Johnny. And so we got 65 who's going to seal the linebacker. 89 Higbee's going to get a good block on Zaire Franklin. Zaire Franklin was a second-team All-Pro last year.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Another guy that you really have to worry about with the Colts is going to be Nick Cross. He's been their leading tackler. He actually comes in. No, that's Cam Bynum who comes in and makes the tackle. Yeah.
Talk that one more time. Okay, let's stop right there. Well, I love the motion. Here. And it's funny because usually when you do a slant, you slant to the strong side, right? This is something and then Lou Anaramo likes to play everybody on close to the line. He wants to go ahead and give you that look that anybody at any time is going to be coming at you. He wants you to throw the ball quickly. This one, I don't know if they thought they were going to throw the ball, but this is a beautiful. Atwell is really, I love this kid. This is one kid that I watched last night again, and he's just on top.
Yeah.
What a great player.
Speedster.
Yes. But look at this. Speedster blocks. Devontae don't do this. Look at that. Keeps going.
Yeah.
Keeps going.
I didn't realize that. That was a good block that he had in that play.
Beautiful block.
And yeah, the Raiders are doing I think they did a really good job last week in the running game with running kind of a similar play that we saw there. They ran outside zone a lot with Ashton Jeanty. And the thing that Ashton did really well on outside zone was finding the cutback lanes to cut it back inside to where when the defense is going to over pursue and really commit to stopping the outside run, Janty's able to stop on a dime. And what's the fastest way between 2 points? It's a straight line. And when a running back's able to have that good cutback vision, that really helps. That really makes the running game go for an offense that runs outside zone.
Which he does. Let's watch another run. This is why I think he's going to have a big game. Stop. There's your motion.
Motion again.
Motion
and
again.
There's is that Atwell again? Yeah, number 12. Yeah.
Okay, so watch this. Watch this play. And then I want you to, we're going to show Jonathan Latu, or not Jonathan, or Latu, number 97.
Latu.
Kind
of like Jordan Lyell.
Okay, watch this. Rams have a beautiful offense too. They are just.
I love it. Yeah,
I do too. It's poetry.
I love the way Sean orchestrates an offense.
Yes, he is the man. Okay, so ups. Let me get my cursor back. There we go. Watch this. Okay, let's go ahead and watch that one more time because I'm very, to me, they're 3-1. They're 3-1, guys. But watch this. Watch the defense run to the ball. I'm not impressed by this. Okay, boom. Watch 44 and 97. 97 is on the right-hand side. He's being blocked by 79 and 88. Watch this. This is why I think that the Raiders are going to win, and this is why. I watch this tape all day long. Watch this. Boom. Boom. Watch the pursuit. Look at 97. There's just a lack of hustle there. I didn't care for. Now let's watch one of these passes. Okay. Boom. Unfortunately, I had to get a quick cut. That should be a Geno pass, and I apologize, Kai. You didn't get a longer cut, but I wanted to show this play because I think Geno can feed off this right here. Let's see it. Okay, look at the ball's out immediately. You got the middle of the field wide open. Good blocking. And boom. That's a Jacoby Myers play or a Brock Bowers play right there. I like that play a lot. Another person that can make that play too. Hey, who is this guy?
He was active.
And
making plays.
11. He had more running average than Ashton Jeanty had. Could you imagine that?
Wow.
Yep. And he looked really good out of the backfield. His one catch was beautiful. I thought on the 3rd down and 2 play at the end of the game, I was hoping he was going to be there. Now let's watch this. And this is what's going to scare y'all because it scares me. And let's go ahead. Oh, here you go, Kyle. Here it is. Watch this play. Oof. Break it down for me, Jenny.
All right, so we got we're going in motion. We got the tight end. It's 3 guys in the backfield. We got a tight end. We got Tyler Warren in the backfield, and then we got Jonathan Taylor as the deep back in the deep eye. So they're going to motion. That's Ogletree. They're going to motion him to the left side of the line, going right next to the left tackle.
Ogletree, a very nice blocker.
Yeah. Rams don't move on that play, so
No.
indicator that it's zone.
Look at this.
And
Look
then
at
just
that.
a nice
That's
off
your
tackle
rookie.
run right there.
That's your rookie from Penn State
Yeah.
walking out, and then just continuing. He didn't stop. Boom.
Make you miss. There's
That's-
that contact balance right there.
That's what you were talking about with Ashton. Yes.
Yeah. So the Raiders are going to need to bring it with this. They got a good line for the Colts, and especially with Pratt not being there now, it's gonna. And when you have to, they start game planning on Mondays, and I don't know when they knew that Pratt was not going to be able to make the trip.
Well,
But-
I just watched the presser today, and there was nothing in it. And
Yeah.
today, so I don't understand what the hell happened.
Yeah.
So I wish if somebody out there knows, please say, because I don't see anything that shows that. Okay, now let's watch why our defense can win this game. Okay. Stop. What do we got here?
So it looks like they're in cover 2 initially. But if you can see the nickel, he's going to creep back. And now it's going to give him a cover 3 look. And they motioned Michael Pittman down to the bottom of the screen right there. Now, a little bit of context about this play. So this is when the Colts were trying. This is in the last minute of the game. It's 1st and 15, and the Colts have 3 timeouts. So when it's last minute of the game, 3 timeouts, and they're at the 27-yard line, it looks like. I know you don't have a lot of time, but you have some time, especially with 3 timeouts. So it's not like you have to rush and make a decision. Let's let the play out.
Got it.
Now they're in a cover 3.
Yep.
And then Cam Curl, who had 2 picks in this game, and the problem with this play right there, and the reason I gave you the context on that play is Daniel Jones rushed a throw there. And I get it. Michael Pittman's your best receiver. And it looked like it was a 1-on-1. And I think the Rams defensive coordinator, Chris Shula, did a great job at disguising the coverage there. Initially, it was a cover 2 look. Then they go to a cover 3 look. And then right as the ball snaps, one of the safeties goes down to the deep hook, and it looks like they're playing a Tampa 2. So I think Daniel Jones saw that they were in cover 2 coverage. So the corner is going to be playing the flat. And when Michael Pittman's running up the field, he thinks when you're playing cover 2, you want to hit the hole, which is right in between the corner and the safety, which is where the fade is. But what he didn't realize is that Cam Curl is watching Michael Pittman.
And Daniel Jones plays at Geno Smith and doesn't move his head either.
Yeah. And then the corner here, so he's playing cover 2, but he realizes that there's no one coming to his flat. So he, like an offensive lineman looking for work, is looking for work. So he's just going to run with Pittman and a little bit of an underthrow, and Daniel Jones loops it up in the air. And it was just a bad decision by Daniel Jones, because I don't know if you noticed there but Jonathan Taylor, he had a little bit of daylight on the check down. If you just hit him, and you have 3 timeouts. So it's not like you have to rush things per se, and you have to worry about getting the ball out of bounds because you have the 3 timeouts.
Yep. Great call. He was wide open in the middle of the field. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch a better view of another pig play by your Daniel Jones, who's 3-1, guys, 3-1. We want Daniel Jones. Yeah, we need to trade for Daniel Jones. Geno sucks. Let's put in Kenny Pickett.
Oh, God.
Of the TMZ.
Not anyone. But listen, have these guys watched Kenny Pickett?
I don't think so, because I was high on Kenny Pickett, but after a while, I went back and watched some of the Philadelphia stuff. It looked like the Follies. It looked like the Ice Capades with him. The guy, I don't know if it was because it's a new team, but he looked bad. I didn't have a problem with him in Pittsburgh because I thought they threw him into the Wolves. And you know what? He gritted out some good games, especially against us. And again, I didn't see enough sample size for him. So let's go ahead and watch your 3-1, Daniel Jones. Look at, you got the
play action.
Oh, let's watch. And then look at, can we throw the ball any higher?
Double coverage.
And double coverage. And I think they did the same thing.
Did you notice the clean pocket he had there too?
Yeah, the play action really worked to his advantage. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's check out what they're playing.
Yeah, Rams are in a so they have 5 men on the line. They have 2. So this is almost a 3. This is pretty much a 3-4 defense because the Colts have 2 tight ends.
The backers are playing the outside. It's exactly what it is. It's a 3-4 defense, and then you got your safeties crashing in the middle there. They're expecting Jonathan Taylor to run the ball right here.
Yeah.
Watch their feet.
The motion receiver.
Look, they're right at that. That's look at the middle linebacker. He's biting on the play fake.
And that they're in cover 2 right there. Both the safeties are back deep. Clean pocket.
And look at how high this pass is too.
And here's what I wonder too. With Daniel Jones being at this moment, he's 3-0.
3-1.
And he's played really great football. They haven't used him as a runner as much as the Giants did. The Giants got him on a lot more quarterback design runs. He's been really good as a thrower. Do you think maybe he was getting a little cocky in this moment and is trying to fit some throws in there that he thought he could fit in there, and he got a little humble pie this weekend?
You mean you think I'm now a passer? I'm Tom Brady now, as opposed to I want to be. Right now, try to be a poor man's Josh Allen, and he tried to play early in the game where they slanted to the left and he ran to the right. He just doesn't. I mean, this was to the right. It wasn't like a left side run or anything. He was running to the right, and he didn't do well. So what's going to happen when this happens?
Oh man, whoo! I love that right there. I mean, that is just such fundamentally sound technique on how to play the option. Max Crosby looks like he's gonna. Look at how square his shoulders are. I mean, this is a very tough decision for Caleb to make. Do I hand it off? Do I not hand it off? There's really not a commitment.
It's an RPO, there. Right?
It's it could be an RPO. It could be a read option. I would have to see the receiver's routes to know if it's an RPO. But Crosby, it looks like he's gonna do a little stutter step towards Swift, and then at the last moment. I mean, I don't know if you ever played Dance Dance Revolution or something like that in Boomers, but Crosby must be great at Dance Dance Revolution. To be able to stop on a dime like that and just pivot right back towards Caleb is amazing.
Look at that. And
Caleb got scared. He's like, oh my God. I didn't think he'd be.
It looks like Crosby got him like for a 2-point for a takedown.
Yeah.
It was a 2-point takedown. So let's go ahead and we're going to look at the last video of the day. And this is Alex's favorite. He called me up and said, we got to look at this play. And I'm like, whatever you want. You're under contract. He's under contract right now. So
do I get my pension like Xavier Howard too?
You haven't done 3. Is this third?
Yeah, yes, but hey, I got to credit.
Third game?
Oh, bye. Nice knowing all you.
He didn't get owned. And then last week, it was so funny. You know, the funniest thing I heard about last week, they're like, oh my God, that was such a great show. Loved the show. They go, but the funniest thing is when Black Hole Steven said, he is AI. He hasn't blinked his eyes at one time.
Oh, I've gotten that my whole life, by the way.
Well, anyway, here you go, AI. This is your favorite play of the day. This is brought to you by Johnny Donuts. If you're out in the Dublin area tomorrow, go by and grab a killer donut. Grab 2. I know I would. Okay, let's take a look at this. Alex's favorite play.
All right. Love this. I mean, first of all, one thing I really like that Chip Kelly's done a lot more is incorporate motion.
Yes.
And just like I was saying earlier, not the static 2x2. The receivers run these routes that it's so easy for the defense to pick up on. When you give them a little pre-snap motion, and then you're able to hit your newfound best weapon in the flat and off play action, under center. It's kind of like everything that everyone's been wanting with the Raiders kind of happened on this play. We want more under center. We want more motion. We want more Ashton Janty. And then we got all of it on that play. So
watch the line too. It looks like they went to what they did is they went ahead and slanted. They looked like they were running a sweep or a trap to the opposite side, which left Genty wide open. Watch the line. Watch the line on this play. Look, you got your motion, which I agree. It's got to help Geno out. It's your quarterback's best friend. Watch this. Boom. And then look at the linemen. And then watch the asses of the Chicago Bears, all of them. Watch how they're in unison with our offensive line. Boom. Yeah. Leave him to the wide end of the field. Boom. You're not going to get him. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, they gave him that was a zone blocking by the line, and they're able to. Geno runs a bootleg right there, and I like that they were able to get Ashton Janty on Noah Sewell of the Bears in a one-on-one matchup, and this can happen again this week because the Colts have a linebacker, Joe Bachie, who plays a lot of snaps, and look, not every team in the NFL has two great linebackers, especially when it comes to coverage. So can they get, and hopefully if Bowers is healthy too, this is going to be a lot better because it forces the linebackers and the safeties to have to cover Bowers, and they have to cover Ashton Janty out of the backfield now too. So they could definitely get more of this. And now when Ashton Janty's on the field, it's not about pass protection so much. It's about having a weapon in the passing game.
And that's why you bring in the Ian Thomas. And you know what I would like to do? You talked about it earlier this year, was bringing Bowers in the backfield, just like they did with Warren. You know,
yeah.
and again, because you could do so much out of that. You could put him back into motion, see where the safety's going, because now everybody's in their preset determination on who they have on the line. And you can take him, put him in the backfield, run him to the weak side of the field, and then boom. You can actually do a counter off that play, and he can be wide open on the short side of the field because he's a guy that can, and when he's healthy, he's a guy that can bull for 9 yards and get out of bounds. I've seen him do it many, many times. So as we are finishing up this great show, we're going to finish early. We want to see one of Alex's favorite videos, and we got to fire up this Mad Bomber crowd. I think we haven't showed a hot dog yet, so it seems like the fans are slowing down on the
$2 hot dogs.
$2.99. Oh, it's the best. Okay, watch this. Here you go, guys. Look at here we go. I showed this last week. Oh, and I saw a lot of this week. Again, boom.
Hello.
Jesus.
Look at that. I mean, that guy's like 350 pounds that he's blocking.
He just has great balance. Just great balance. That's a big kid right there.
He is. I mean, look, the Raiders, it looks like they had a really good draft last year. I mean, people could have their opinions of Tom Telesco, but the ability to get – and Bowers kind of fell to them. I'm sure there wasn't a lot of other guys that they could really pick in the draft prior.
After Penix was gone, because Penix was coming to the Raiders.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Penix has been anyone that has been like, oh my God, we missed out on Penix. But Raiders got a special player in Bowers, and then they got JPJ in the second round to go along with it. They got DJ Glaze too, who's a starter. So yeah, I mean, it was a draft that they could really build on. And by the way, I thought DJ Glaze, he didn't give any hurries. He wasn't too bad in pass protection last week. I was a little worried that you're going to have to take Glaze off the Johnny's Donuts menu if he kept playing the way he did.
He had a great game. They all did, but I think but again, I don't believe the Bears were any good. I don't. I knew we were going to run on them. I went to several. When I was in Vegas all weekend, what I had heard was that this isn't a union gig, my friend. Look at this. Awesome. It is a union gig. I haven't even got my 15-minute break. Come on now. Kurt Husk is a great dude. I had him in my high school. One of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. He just makes me laugh looking at him sometimes.
He knows about California labor laws.
Yeah, well, as he should. That's what's driving the show. But I don't know if the Colts are any better than the Bears. I mean, they have players, like you said. They have a linebacker. I think with Buckner, that's a good lineman. But
yeah,
I believe that they're going to be weak on the corners, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jacoby Myers has a big game. And if he doesn't have a big game, let's talk about this. There are rumblings and there's talk everywhere right now that Jacoby Myers will be traded before the trade deadline. They've been talking about Steelers. They've talked Niners. One person said that is well connected that I know said that the Cardinals are actually coming hard for Jacoby Myers. Now, at the same time, we've heard Pete Carroll talk a lot about Jack Besh, and we need to get him on the field and a lot more. And that's who the Raiders realistically drafted him, is to be Jacoby's backup. They did not give him an extension. Two-part question for you, sir. A, do you think Jacoby Myers is a number one receiver? Three-part question. B, do you think the Raiders will trade him? And C, are the Raiders lacking a DK Metcalf? Or are they going to go ahead and continue to get Deontay Thornton and try to make him a number one? What do you think? What do you think is answer those questions first and foremost?
Well, just like Chewy's Raider coverage, I do think he is a great asset to the team. Do I think he's a number one receiver? No. Do I think he's one of the best 32 receivers in the league? Maybe he's one of the best top 30, maybe anywhere from like 25 to like 40 or something like that. He's reliable. He's a very good. Now, when he was with Devontae Adams initially, I thought he was going to have a really good year. I thought Adams was going to be really good, but that didn't matriculate, of course. He was brought in by Josh McDaniels. I mean, he was with Josh McDaniels in New England. Could he? Maybe New England wants him back. Maybe Josh McDaniels wants him back. So
those are the three teams that are bumping right now, because the Niners are hurting. Although Bourne had a great game last night.
Yeah.
Look, but I think
there's. Go ahead.
I think that what Jacoby Myers does, and I don't have a problem keeping him the whole year. I don't give a shit about a 5th-round draft choice or a 3rd-round draft choice, or getting Logan Wilson and some not has been, but some guy that the Steelers don't want. Look, if you get rid of Jacoby Myers, are you telling the team that you're giving up on the season?
I think if he were to get traded, it would be closer to the deadline. And unfortunately, that would be in a situation where the Raiders are just not in contention and they're going to look to get anything for him. I think they did the right thing by not giving him an extension. And we don't know what the number he was asking for was. But, and I agree, the receiver room will be weak once he leaves. But I think him leaving would be a scenario of where the Raiders are out of contention and they're just going to look to get anything they can for him. And look, we haven't seen it with Thornton yet. I think they need to use Thornton as the designated deep threat guy. Let him run vertical and let Tucker, Myers, and Bowers be the intermediate guys. Now, I understand Trey Tucker could also get deep as well, but Trey Tucker's really good in space, and he's really good once he gets the ball in his hands. Thornton, I don't know if he could work the shorter intermediate route. I think the best thing for him would be to see if they could hit him on a couple deep routes and really get him comfortable there. And that will give the whoever's playing the Raiders another guy they have to account for, because right now he's just kind of out there, but teams aren't really paying any respect to him.
No,
so,
not because he was open on a touchdown. He was on the, if we go back and look at the interception, not the first interception, but the second interception that Geno threw. If he would have just waited a hair, Thornton was gone, because they played a cover two. They played a man up and a man back on Jacoby. They weren't even paying attention to Thornton in the middle of the field. I think he gets more run when he's out on the side, when they isolate him, on the fat side of the field. And then I don't know why it was so funny in preseason. Geno just kept throwing to him on every play. And it seems like he hasn't gotten the targets that he has. And I believe I think that's kind of been a problem trying to get this kid in. I do believe that they are going to use Jack Besh more. Back to the original question. I don't know if that's because Myers isn't playing this weekend, and that would be a great way to get Jack Besh, because he's a tough receiver. He's a tough inside. He'll go ahead and go over the middle. He has no problem with that. Kid's tough as hell. I know Chewy just said our right wide receiver room will be weak once he leaves. I agree. After you have the initial starters, you have Bachman. Yeah, you're really going down a slippery slope with receivers. And yeah, Kurt, totally. And again, this is going to lead me into the last thing, because I am a Union guy. So Alex and I have been looking at Stone Forsyth. When you look at Stone Forsyth, you have to look at last year. And when you look at last year, you have to watch Geno Smith. And I got to watch a lot of Geno Smith from last year. And I got to watch a lot of Stone Forsyth from last year. He started many games. I watched a game against the Giants, and he looked great. Stone Forsyth has great hands. He's a puncher. He keeps the guys off him. He moves very smoothly. He's not mechanical at all. I think the games I've seen him, he looks like he would be somewhat better than DJ Glaze. I saw him really move well in the pocket, and I watched a lot of his tape. I watched almost an hour and a half today on NFL 22. So I'm not saying that I'm gonna. Hey, thanks, Chewy. Hey, great input today. Great show, fellas. I'm dropping.
Thanks, Chewy.
Yeah, thank you very much. Nice to see him here. But Stone Forsyth looks like he belongs. Now, is he take plays off? Because I didn't see that. Why is he a journeyman? He's been in the league quite a few years. He was drafted in the 6th round by the Seahawks. So he wasn't a bust. It wasn't like he was a high draft choice and he didn't make it. He was a 6th rounder, and he stuck around in the NFL for going on 5 years. So watching Stone Forsyth, I was impressed. I wanted to get the kid in there, Grant. I wanted to see them, sink or swim, but he's not ready yet. And in college, he only gave up 3 sacks. He was all conference 2 years. I think he played a total of 60 games in college. So he has some game strength, but Pete Carroll says he's not ready yet. And you know what? If you don't like Pete Carroll, good for you. There's just too many years of me watching Pete Carroll. And today I watched him do 100-yard wind sprints. So I know friends of mine that can't even do 10-yard wind sprints at 40, 50, 60. In fact, both of us know on some of our Wednesday night friends that definitely couldn't.
Oh, my God.
Exactly. So,
oh, man. They couldn't even do a 3-cone shuttle.
As well as I can't either. But if you're going to tell me that Pete Carroll's old and it's past, listen to him. Watch him. He's amazing. I love Pete Carroll. If you don't like Pete Carroll, close your eyes and go, Coach Josh McDaniels. Coach Josh McDaniels. Coach Josh McDaniels. Click your heels 3 times and go back to fucking New England. Okay, so lastly, this is the final word from our AI resident guru. Talk to me. How's the game going to go? And not maybe what could happen, but what do you see happening? And what's the final score? And don't be afraid to give us the truth. I have no problem with that.
I think there's going to be a lot of short passes from Geno. I think he's definitely going to test whoever the other corner is, whether it's Edwards, the rookie, or Mekhi Blackman. I definitely think they're going to also test Mike Hilton too. And I expect to see a lot of Ashton Jeanty in the passing game as well on quick passes. I really think they're going to build on that. Whether it's Ian Thomas also getting some snaps in there. I also believe if they do line up Blackman or Edwards on Dante Thornton, this could be the week where they get a deep shot on him. As far as the Colts attacking the Raiders, look, if Pratt's not going to be there, that's definitely going to be some issues for the new whoever's going to be filling in his spot, especially in coverage. Now, another thing for the Colts is they're not going to have Alec Pierce again.
Right.
And Alec Pierce he's a good player. He's more of he's a down the field guy. And I think that's another issue why Daniel Jones had struggled throwing the ball down the field was he didn't have Alec Pierce in there. Could this be a get back game for AD Mitchell too? He had that big blunder getting to the.
What happened? Please tell us what happened, young man.
He just fumbled. Look, I'll tell you this.
Fumble the ball. He didn't fumble the ball. He did not fumble the ball.
What do you think? What do you mean? He didn't fumble.
Okay. They call it a fumble in the stats, but how did he cross? Can you show the crew, how he crossed the goal line? Was he being tackled?
Absolutely not.
How did he lose the ball?
It was carelessness. He thought he crossed the goal line, but clearly he lost. Yeah, it was just the lack of focus.
So they're talking about him not even getting to sniff the field right now. They're pissed. They're pissed at AD Mitchell. They were talking about there's another guy they were bringing up off the practice squad to replace JD Mitchell. Now,
I think that's going to
is that realistic or is that them just spanking that ass?
Well, I think, look, a lot of what Pete Carroll does on these press conferences, whether it's with JPJ, him and Kappa are going to be in competition, or we're going to see this or that. I think a lot.
Jedi Knight.
Yeah, I think, look, if AD Mitchell came in the building on Monday and through today was accountable, was in film study, was on his P's and Q's, and the coaching staff's able to see, look, he's learning from his lesson from what he did. And because he also had the big, I think on that run that we showed, that was the run that got called back because he had a holding call.
He was the one who called it a holding call. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was on a corner that, look, you really think a corner is going to be the one tackling Jonathan Taylor? I don't think so. So it was just, look, he had 97 yards in the game. He would have been their best. If he would have scored that touchdown, we would be talking about, wow, this AD Mitchell. Yeah, we'd be talking about, wow, this AD Mitchell guy, he's also coming along. But instead, we're talking about how much of a donkey he is. So, look, we'll see. His snap count is going to be very dependent on what happens Monday through Saturday.
Right. It will. So, final score.
I'm I'm going to go Colts 32, Raiders 27.
Go 32-7. And you know what? And that's why you're here. I don't want you sugarcoating it. I love your honesty, and I know you're one of those guys that's honest. Okay, so that's it for Mad Bomber podcast for today. Please, guys, if you are on Facebook, and I see you are, go over to subscribe at YouTube at Mad Bomber Podcast. Subscribe and like. I mean, they even have this thing for you to see. Subscribe and like. Do whatever you got to do, but it really helps out. We're going to be talking about next week. We're going to be talking about Raider Dad. Raider Dad is going to be.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah, I mean we're working it out. Me and Josh. It's tough. He is a young man with a young family, with a young foundation. So he's very, very busy. We tried to connect in Las Vegas last week. It was tough. Okay. A lot going on, but we will. And then I've also got a treat. If you send me your emails today, new part of the show on the Mad Boomer podcast. I love Mad Boomer. Dan Riley, I hope you're listening because you started that. Immediately after the game on Sunday, we're going to be Victory Sunday, or we're going to be, go ahead, get pissed off, and you can go ahead and talk about anything you want. The only thing that I wouldn't want to do is talk about who we should get, who we should fire, and who we should draft. I just don't want to do that. I just don't want to do Here we go. This is a perfect Raider taking the over 47.5 then. Yes. See that? Our fans are diversified. But we're going to be also talking about a gentleman who's going to 56. He's going to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. I've talked to him. He's going to come on the show at the end of the year when he's closer. But I'm going to start showing you the stadiums he's been to. I don't remember where he's at right now, but he's a Raider fan. He's got his own podcast as well. Talked to him on the phone. This guy's going through airports and going to stadiums. I'm kind of interested to see how this is all how he gets to go all this. If he's just got one of those guys that's got cash and doing it, or if it's being sponsored. But this guy is going to he's going to be in the Guinness World Book of Records for going to the most games in one season. But right after the show, guys, right after the show, Alex, I want you coming on. I want to get as many people. If you send me your email, I'm going to send you the link. You're going to come on live. You're going to be on TV, whatever, podcast, whatever you want to call it. You're going to be on screen, and you're going to tell me why the Raiders won, why the Raiders lost. You told me that they were going to win because of that, or they lost because of this, and we've talked about it. So I want you guys to come in and come on strong. I will do 90 minutes to the T. As soon as the Raider game is off, I'm not going to have any film. I may have a shot here or there, but I want this to. I want to see if this is worth it. I was told by the Luxor that I could go ahead and have shows after the games in Las Vegas. I could go ahead and do a mobile show at the Luxor. So let's go ahead and see how hard this thing comes. It would be cool if you guys come in. If there's only going to be 2 or 3 people, that's fine. But let's just bring it strong. I want to see good takes. I don't want to come on here and go, yeah, Gino sucks. Well, why did he suck? I mean, this show, I brought Alex on the show so that we could have discussions about what he sees. And, you know, it doesn't have to be analytical as Alex, but like, hey, if I see Gino staring down receivers, Ashton took the wrong read, should have moved up the field. You know what? Max had that time. Oh, we got screwed on that call. That call was let's talk about that. If you're going to come and say, yeah, he sucks, just don't waste any of our time. Come in like Alex and tell me why we are on a jumbo set and got 3 touchdowns and we won 24-0. That's what I want to hear about. So Alex, as always, you're the man.
Oh, you're the man. Thanks for having me on, Johnny.
Anytime. You have that open contract. Alex is like Raheem Mostert. I give him $1.6 million per year, and then $500,000 for every game he suits up on. But if he's a healthy scratch, he doesn't get paid. So that's just the way it goes.
Brutal.
All right. This is a union shop.
I need a baseball contract.
No, or a hockey one,
Oh.
where you don't get paid much and you get beat up all the time. So
Yeah,
guys,
I'll take a hockey girlfriend. I'll tell you that.
Oh, dude, check it out. Did you watch the Rams game last night? The Rams game? They had
What are you
because
talking about?
Kroenke owns the Colorado Avalanche, and so
Yeah,
they
he was
had
the Nuggets too.
they had all. Yeah, he's got more championships. Held more championships. But anyway, they showed all the hockey players, right? And they all were wearing Rams jersey, and they're all drinking beers, but they're all having fun together. I mean, you know what? Hockey players are just so cool. They are just funny as hell because that I got to hang out with hockey players, a pro hockey player, and this was in my drinking days. I don't drink anymore, and in my drinking days, he would say, "No, we don't stop drinking until the sprinklers come on in the lawn in the morning." And I'm like, "What? Hell no! I'm going home. It's fucking midnight. I'm hammered." Anyway, so I will see you Sunday 1-ish after the Raiders beat the Colts. I think it's going to be 27-23, and I think Max Crosby's going to have a big game. Gee, wow! Imagine that. Look at
Hot
me,
take.
Nostradamus right there, right? All right, guys. You guys have a great show, a great night. Have a great weekend. We will see you Sunday. Send me your emails. The earlier, the better. Good night now.
Now it's Ciani to the left. Biletnikoff to the right against Marsalis. Back is Lamonica. Throws for Biletnikoff. Touchdown Raiders! Biletnikoff is having words right now with Marsalis. Fred caught that ball after quite a physical battle with Marsalis in the right corner of the end zone. He went on out of the end zone, and then instead of slamming the ball into the turf, he ran back in about 10 yards to where Marsalis was and defiantly slammed it in the turf in front of Marsalis. The two tight ends are lined up as tight ends. Back goes Darrell to pass. He's looking for Smith, but instead goes down the middle. Chester, touchdown Raiders! Holy Toledo, what a great ball! 19 yards and a Raider touchdown to make it 22-3. Chester had gotten free at the 5 and was all alone in the end zone 2 yards in. The Chargers now have a brilliant opportunity to put this game away. Here's Williams to the left, Garrison to the right, flanks right, Charlie Smith out to the left as a wingback, leaves only one back to block, that's Hubbard. Lamonica back, gets fine blocking, now he throws down the middle, Branch at the 20. Branch at the 18, tripped up, keeps going, reverses to the 15, he's at the 10, he dances down to the 9-yard line. First and goal to go Raiders. 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go, and hang on to your hats. Branch is still in. He goes to the right, slotted inside Biletnikoff. 5 defensive backs in there. Lamonica gives to Smith, sending him to the left. He's got Upshaw in front. He's at the 5. He's at the 2. It's a touchdown Raiders! Charlie Smith from 9.5 yards out. Oakland has gone in. Clarence Davis is in for Charlie Smith. He's a deep threat on pass reception. Back goes Stabler to pass. Steps away from the rush. He's going to run up the left side. 30, 25, 20.